there, it's Lucy Johnson here from fullybookedformula.com, where we work with fitness, health and wellness professionals that want to get more clients, make more money and dramatically improve the quality of their life in the next 3 to 6 months. And today's video tip is about how to stay calm in a crisis. So in every business there's ups and there's downs, and as much as I would love to be able to tell you that everything just goes swimmingly and fantastically well, even in a very successful business, that's just not the way it goes. There's something called you have to break down to break through. So it's very typical that you're going to have periods in business where things don't go the way you want them to. Maybe it's that their clients aren't behaving the way you want them to. Maybe it's that money isn't as you would like it to be. Maybe you've just had a big tax bill come in that you weren't expecting. Maybe one of your instructors leaves. Whatever it might be that you would deem a crisis. The best way to deal with a crisis in business is my 3 simple steps that I personally use when my business goes through its own crisis. They're not as big as they used to be because you get used to handling things in a much better way, but every business goes through ups and downs. So firstly, you have to ask yourself a question, and I learned this from a book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, which has 2 rules for enjoying life. One is don't sweat the small stuff, and the second rule is it's all small stuff. So the moral of the story is just don't get stressed over things that don't really matter that much. So step 1 for handling a crisis in your business is fast forward yourself to 12 months time and ask yourself this question. In 12 months time, will what's stressing you out now even matter? And if the answer is no, that in 12 months time you will look back and either not even remember what's going on now, or you will remember it and you'll just laugh about it, or it just won't bother you in any way, then you must take that on board in this present moment as well. Getting stuck in panic and worry and fear during a crisis when you could just think, I'm not going to sweat about this, will actually only make the problem worse. You will not find a solution for your crisis if you're stuck in panic and you're stuck in worry. So the first step is fast forward yourself 12 months. Will this genuinely matter as much in 12 months as it does now? And if the answer is no, then let go of the worry and the fear right now, because that leads me on to step 2, which is when you stop panicking, you are in a much better, more mentally stable place to come up with a solution. For every challenge, every problem, there is always a solution to be found, but you will not find it when you're in panic mode. So only move on to step 2 once you've stopped panicking. Step 2 is about finding solutions. Now, most things can be broken down very logically and very simply if you actually just unravel the problem, look at it in its full glory, and then figure out what you need to do. For example, let's say that you need to come up with £1,000 very quickly. This is the crisis. You just need to work out what's your most logical solution. If you sell your services for £50, you now need to get 20 clients to pay you £50 to come up with your £1,000. So rather than focusing on the problem, which is I need £1,000, you can now start focusing on the solution, which is how can I get 20 clients to pay me £50 within the next 7 days, or whatever your time frame may be. And all of your focus is shifted now onto the solution. The 20 clients at £50. You've forgotten about the fact you need £1,000. You're not looking at that anymore. You're focused on fixing the problem. Maybe the problem is that you have had an instructor walk out who was teaching classes for you, and now you need to find someone to cover those classes. Same thing. Let's stop focusing on the fact the instructor has left you in the lurch, and let's look at the solution. How many classes need cover? Could you actually cover them if you shifted your diary around? Is there somebody that could step in? Who is that person? Where can we find that person from? Do we need to give them some extra mentoring, some extra help to get them to a point where they can teach those classes? What is that solution that we can start focusing on? And you'll find when you do that, two things happen. One, you just feel better because you're not stressing about the problem. You're actually actively doing something to solve it now. And two, you do come up with some pretty good solutions. Your brain is designed to solve problems. That's actually how it's wired. So when you use it properly and you pose it with a solution, it actually starts to help you out and work those out with you. And then the final step, step 3, when it comes with dealing with a crisis, is put it back into the bigger perspective, because what often happens is we're so focused on right now that we lose track of the 6-month picture or the 12-month picture or the 3-year picture. You know, maybe you didn't hit your revenue target last month. Well, could you make up for it in the next quarter, and therefore overall your yearly income will not be affected? Maybe you've had some clients leave you. Okay, well, could you make up for that in the next quarter and not have your overall yearly income be affected? Don't lose sight of the bigger picture. I never set goals in my business that are in less than 90 days, less than a quarter, so 3 months kind of blocks, because so much can happen in 1 month that you need to give yourself time to be able to readjust in the following couple of months. It's silly just to look at things very, very, very short term, simply because life doesn't work that way. We have good weeks, we have bad weeks. You know, you want to work on having more good than bad, but you must look at the bigger picture. You must keep this in perspective, because often when crises happen, it's because it's to alert you to something you could be doing better, so that you can fix it by solving that problem, so that in the future, not only does it not happen again, but your business actually functions better as a result. You actually get more clients as a result. So those are my 3 steps to dealing with a crisis in your business or in your income. These are things I use every day in my business. They've built me a very successful business over time. They're things my clients use in their businesses. They work for me, they work for them, they can work for you too. So implement those 3 steps next time you have a crisis, and let me know how you go.